The 2022 local elections are coming up later this year on the 5th of May, but where are they actually being held? Why should I even bother voting, and how can I vote as a university student? Well, these questions will all be answered in this University Radio Nottingham special, so do stay tuned. Firstly, the local elections are not occurring in Nottingham this year. Instead, it is somewhere more like this, somewhere closer to home for many students. Behind me is the Ripley Town Hall, home to the Amber Valley Borough Council, which is one of the 200 councils that are holding local elections on the 5th of May. This also happens to be where I'll be voting, since I live here. So in addition to the 200 councils, there's also 7 directly elected mayors which will be holding elections simultaneously as well. So where exactly are elections occurring? Well, they're happening in all of Scotland, all of Wales, all of the London boroughs, as well as many different bits of England as well. You know, if you want to find out exactly whether your home area is voting, what you can do is you can simply type in Electoral Commission upcoming elections into Google, or you can follow the link in our description. What that website does is that you simply type in your postcode and then it will show all of the upcoming elections that are going on in your constituency. So why should you even bother to vote in elections? You know, turnout amongst young people especially is the lowest amongst all age groups. Well, to help explain why you should vote, I'm joined by the very lovely Izzy Morris.
Hello.
Hello indeed. And so firstly, local councils are actually responsible for quite a lot of things. So, you know, think of your garbage collection, you know, think of maintenance of local parks, all that sort of stuff. You know, local councils do have a fair bit of responsibilities, and it's very correct to make sure that they are kept responsible when they're doing these responsibilities. So voting does allow them to remain responsible.
As Ben already said as well, it's really important to remember that because voter turnout can be really low for students and for young people, it's important to get our voices represented on the council by actually showing up and voting. So by you voting, you're being represented, and it's important to remember that they're there for what you want, and you can't tell them that without voting.
Additionally as well, you know, local elections are not just insignificant. You know, national parties do care about local elections because they view it as a referendum, you know, on themselves basically, and any particular shift in local elections, it will reflect in their policy changes because they, you know, want to maintain votes going into a national election. So national parties do care. It's not just some little insignificant thing.
And a lot of people that don't vote say that they don't vote because they feel like their vote doesn't matter, because so many people vote. It's an insignificant vote at the end of the day. But in a local election especially, so fewer people vote that it's important that you do, because your voice can be amplified, your vote becomes louder and your voice becomes louder. So you should take advantage of that.
Additionally as well, to get a little historical, you know, many people have died fighting for the right to vote, and it is one of the civic duties of living in a democracy. You know, even in a local election, it's very important to do because, you know, it's a matter of habit building. If you get voting in local elections, you'll vote in national elections. You know, it's just one of the real core civic duties you can do living in a country such as the UK. It's just, I can't overstate how important it is that you do go and vote. And so, hopefully, with our wonderful explanations, you know, you'll go and do so. But how can you vote as a university student? Well, slick transition time. So how can you actually vote as a university student? Well, you're able to vote in your home area even if you live at university. You can do this by polling station, you can do this by postal ballot, and you can do this by voting by proxy. Naturally, if you're living at university, postal ballot will be your easiest option, and on most local council websites you're able to simply download a form, fill it out and post it off. The deadline for a postal ballot form is the 19th of April in most areas, so make sure you send it off because it has to be received by the 19th, and it's very easy to do, I promise. And in addition to this, the deadline for registering to vote is the 14th of April, and that's gov.uk/register-to-vote. So make sure you register, otherwise you will not be able to vote at all. And so, with all of that said, I hope you're able to cast your ballot very soon in the local elections.